Golly. What a good start.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
This is gonna be fun.
That's gonna be you.
That's gonna be in the video.
Man.
So much pressure.
We're on camera.
Hey guys!
I don't really want
For all
to get
those
the camera at
listening,
all.
well, we're not going to.
Yeah, of course.
For those listening or watching, maybe?
Whoa.
Oh, man. Is this the start?
Is this the start of something new?
Wait, that's Disney. Copyrights.
What? Something new.
Feels so right.
To be here with you. Now they can see all of the little things that we do.
Oh, the man. See, but the good thing about that is then if you laugh for whatever reason or do something dumb, which, I mean,
I don't know how often
never
that
happens.
Never. Not a single time.
Never. The funny thing is, we'll post this, and people will be like, we liked it better when it wasn't on
When it
video.
wasn't on video? That might happen.
Right.
Let me look at my camera just so that... Oh, dude, I can do like side eyes like Jim. Where when you're going on a tangent, I can just be like, this guy.
That was like a Robert De Niro.
That was interesting. Also, do you know the way that you're holding your mic?
It's horrible.
You're going like this.
What about it?
This is that's where you're speaking.
I know, this is the microphone.
It's such a hard to turn it.
Why can't I hold it like this?
It just doesn't come through as good.
Fine. Is this better, Brandon?
Way better. Look at that. Anyways.
Can you just hold the microphone for me?
Yeah, I probably should.
Oh, no.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast. I feel weird, like...
I do feel weird. I feel naked. Not like naked. In case you're wondering, I am clothed. Man,
They
you
can see that now.
They can see.
In
Dude,
4K.
we could have done all of our other podcasts without pants on, and they would have had no idea.
Yeah.
That was my whole thought. Good
And that's where
talk.
it ended.
See, now I'm adjusting like my pants, and they get to see.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
That was
Just don't adjust your pants. They'll just ride up.
Nah.
Good content.
Great content. Depends on...
No, anyway.
All right.
On that note, it's been a minute.
It has. We're back from paternity leave.
Yeah, you got it.
We're back.
Yeah?
The podcast went on paternity leave.
Yes, it did.
Because you had a kid.
I did have a kid. Yeah, kid number
Congrats.
5.
Now you have 5.
Yeah. Am I starting 5?
That's actually...
Because that's why we had 5.
Of course. Because then you can put them all on a team together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'll be that crazy coach that's like super mad at him.
Yeah.
Work harder. I'll throw a chair just because.
Perfect.
That's what they always do in the movies.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had our 5th kid, Lily, born about 3.5 weeks ago now. Life is good. Went back to work this week. That was hard.
That would be tough.
But life is good, man.
Good.
Like it's crazy because this is the last kid, right? So it's like
For everyone.
yeah, that's it for everyone in the whole entire universe. Life is gonna come to an abrupt halt after this child.
Yeah.
That'd be tragic.
That would be.
No, but so it's been super special too, because it's like holding her, having her rest. My favorite thing is like naps with babies like on my chest. I don't know how to explain it other than like they just sit like perfectly on you and like
I feel like when I nap on your chest, it's very similar.
It is,
Yeah.
very much, when we wrap you up.
We can
a
demonstrate.
blanket.
We just come over there.
Sure, come on over, man.
Put your arm around me and we just snuggle up.
Makes me think
The
of
Snuggle Up podcast.
Snuggle time.
Snuggle time with Adam and Brandon.
Snugs and bugs.
Snugs and bugs. It's pretty good.
Have you seen Sonic 3?
Oh, was that your... No, I haven't, but was that your try to make Smallz and Tallz into a snuggle thing?
Sure, it's just whatever was off the top of my
Yeah.
head. I mean, yeah,
Same.
absolutely, 100%.
For sure.
Well, then my reference of Sonic 3 will not make sense. But in the movie, Jim Carrey plays two characters, like the grandpa and Dr. Robotnik, the two Robotniks. Anyway, long story short, he sees the grandpa and he's Santa in this like clip, and he like jumps on him and just like hugs him from like waist up and like has him fall over. It's funny. I'll have to show you the clip.
I'm like, so excited to see it.
So great.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it made me think of. So you'll have to jump and hug me like
hug
that.
You.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next video.
Next video. Dude, I am thinking maybe this one should be angled at you and that should be at me.
Oh. That's a thought.
Yeah.
Alright.
Just thinking out loud here.
The old angle switcherooski.
That would make way more sense. Because then they aren't seeing like this side of me. They're seeing like me talking.
They see the best side of you.
Good up.
All sides.
I'm going to swap it mid-podcast.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, keep telling us about having a kid while I swap this. Check this out.
Had a kid.
Oh, my sweaty palms.
Enough said. Your palms are that sweaty?
Knees weak, arms are heavy. Oh, that is a great angle of you.
Do you want me to spread eagle?
No.
Like what?
Please no.
Oh man. That'll be
Look,
funny.
this goes this way.
Oh snap.
Oh yeah. Dude.
Now we're cooking.
This is the move. Oh, look at you using cooking in a sentence. Oh yeah, that makes way more sense.
Okay. Well,
probably. I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll like switch the angles every like 5 seconds just to give people epilepsy.
4, 3, 2, 1, 5.
No, I was gonna get up and change the camera. That makes way more sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I meant in editing, and you meant in right now.
Yeah. Anywho, yeah, we had a kid. Cool stuff.
All right, good story.
Also, I'll note we are filming in my basement.
Oh yeah.
It is recently finished.
Welcome to the basement.
At least that's part of it.
Yeah, good point.
So yeah.
Actually, most.
Well, it's finished. I mean, we have some.
It's just like little things.
Small things to do.
But everything else is done, and it looks great in here.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
Nice.
So anyway, catching up. I mean, that's the biggest thing, at least for us, is having.
It's a pretty big thing.
Having a new kiddo. It's been exciting.
Maybe I should have gone first, because you can't top having a kid.
Sure you can. Well, who is it, Brian Regan? I walked on the moon.
Yeah, good point. I walked on the moon. It's my update.
That's out of this world, man.
Thanks.
That was good.
This is gonna be so fun.
I'm excited to see you going after and what
afterwards.
That
I'm gonna
looks
talk. Well, wow, words. Let me try that again. I'm gonna be like, we're never doing that again, because it's just like
probably
pain in my butt to edit. It probably will be, but it'll be fun. It'll be a good experience, right?
Right. Also, shout out Zach Bone.
Oh. I don't know why I put it up.
I give him a kissy face
I mean,
right to the
guess
camera.
He's probably, we're in a basement, so he's probably, he might be too. He lives in the basement.
All right.
Good
talk.
All right. Anyways.
Woo. So, no, I have actually been really excited because you told me about some recent excursions.
Yeah.
Dare I say.
You could say that.
Escapades.
That's a big word.
Not really.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Adventures.
Oh, that's my new gym.
I know. I looked at that one. I looked at that one. I'm like, oh, it's that one. Yeah, there you go.
Wait, did that unfocus you? I don't know.
I'm always focused.
Look at that. Refocused you. You're locked in, bro.
Always.
Only
on you.
Now they get to see those things. How do we feel about
that? Different. We're just going to be randomly doing that. It's fine, you'll cut it out. Or you won't. You'll just make a reel of us looking at the camera. Oh, gosh, man.
That's pretty good. I've been on some
words.
Excursions.
Word.
Yeah.
Good talk, man.
That was it.
No, okay, come on.
I went to New York on a whim, sort of, not really. Okay, so my life's been changed for the better. June 4th, Father Figure came out, which is John Bennon's new album. It's so good. It's so good. Holy cow. Colby and I talked about it, right? Because Colby would talk everything music, but he texted me, I think he texted me the day after, or the day of, maybe, kind of checking in like a very healthy way. I love Colby. He's just a great guy,
He's a good
right?
dude. Yeah.
He was like, how are you doing? Like, after Father Figure drops. And I was like, thank you for asking. But he said, he's like, I know when a big artist that I'm a huge fan of, or an album or whatever, when music that I've been anticipating comes out, I know that I know the toll that it can take in a good way or a bad way, but like, how are you doing? And I said something along the lines of like, everything that was said and that I heard and felt, especially on the first listen, but really has been amplified every single time since. Everything that's talked about in that album is the things that I've been feeling and thinking about for the majority of my life. I just never knew I needed it put in words. And then once it has been, I'm like, that's what I've been feeling, you know? Yeah. And like being able to point to a song like Rich and Broke that's like all about, I mean, it's like I felt the earthquake in New York. I was in my big house with the whip outside. Like I had a big chain around my neck that I've worked for my whole life, but the first thought was my kids. Like that sort of a thing, you know? And like loose change, but still can't buy you time. You know what I mean? It's just like those thoughts that like have been subconsciously in me, where it's like money is not the key to wealth. That, I mean, he said that forever ago, but like, I don't know, like I wish there's a selective handful of people in my life that currently understand where I'm at in all aspects of life, but like in what like I prioritize and like what I'm like this is what matters to me in life, period. And weirdly, like I'm a 22-year-old that's single, and what matters to me no this is the weird part. But like I'm a 22-year-old that's single, and the thing that matters to me most is like being a present father. You know what I mean? And I'm like I've always cared for that in the sense of like I've had a great example in my own dad my whole life, and so I've been able to look to that and like, oh, this is how I want to be with my children and whatever. But I'm like, everything that I'm currently doing as a 22-year-old that's like single is for my kids in the future. You know what I mean? And not like, I'm not necessarily saying financially or whatever, but like in me developing as a character and as a person and as an individual, I want to develop X, Y, and Z because I want to be able to be a present dad. Yeah. That's like patient with his kids and that like is able to take care of them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Part of a really good thing for me has been the fact that my oldest two sisters have kids, and they my oldest sister just had another daughter. Her name's Ava, and she was the cutest. But she was born like a week ago or a week and a half ago or something.
Which, by the way, congrats.
Yeah, congrats to Jess and Chance and like.
Congrats.
But no, like being able to hold a newborn, you know, and I mean you definitely know. You just had a newborn and.
Well, and I think it goes. Once again, what you're talking about, like. Totally makes sense, because I think it's part of how dare I say, we grow up, like our values, our traditions, kind of
Yeah.
where we've been at with our families, and I can say that because we've known each other most of our lives. Like, the vision for life in part is becoming that person for others that people have been for us.
Yeah.
Being able to give that impact, the legacy that has been left for us, we want to be able to carry that on and make it greater, if anything, right? Not because, like, I always think it's interesting, people are like, success is tied to money. It's not. Success, one of my business partners said it perfectly, success is living up to your God-given potential. And so I think the whole concept of wanting to be a better father and those type of things, like, props to you at 22, I was probably not thinking that, but like, it just means that you have that vision for your life of what you want that to become. Yeah. And even though and I say this from experience, like, it's a progression. I don't think we should ever feel like we're where we need or want to be. We should always be content and happy, but it's pushing the boundaries. What does it take to be a better father, husband, son, all these different things in life to become better, right? I think we talk about a lot on this podcast of striving to be better. Doesn't mean that we have to be perfect, because we never will be, right?
Yeah.
At least in this life and whatnot, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't strive to be better to help other people around us. And so I think that's, I don't know, just from what you're talking about, like, that's generally speaking what that does, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's interesting to talk about that, because for me, I look at the different stages of, like, 1, when I was single, 2, when I was married, and 3, when I had kids. When I was single, you could survive on top ramen for weeks at hand. Yeah. Like, that's the example I give, but it's like, your focus, your focus is yourself, largely, right? Like, ideally, you're obviously outward thinking and stuff like that, sure, but it's a different focus. Whereas then when you're married, it's kind of a switch of, I need to worry or think more about someone else than just me.
Yeah.
And then when you have kids, it's an additional switch of, I need to get moving, right? And it's not just with financial, that's definitely part of it, because, want to make sure that your family has enough and is taken care of, but it goes beyond that. As a provider, as a spiritual leader, call it whatever you want, as like a role model for your kids, like, you want to be the best that you can be.
Yeah.
So I get where you're coming from, man.
Yeah, it's cool to have that be the thing that I'm passionate about, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because then I'm able to have conversations like this or with a larger group than the people that are just around me. Yeah. And even the people around me, it's opened some eyes already, And not that I'm not saying this all to like have people open their eyes for me. I'm just I want to push the narrative of, like, can we talk about how we're going to be with our families in the future now?
Yeah.
Like, because I know we're at college and we're having fun and, like, whatever, and we should. But also there's a level to it of, like, can we be patient with each other, and can we be happy, and can we figure out how to build relationships with each other so that we can prepare ourselves for our future and our future family? Because, like, that's what matters.
Perspective.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's twofold. One, being in the present, but speaking from experience as a recovering perfectionist as well, like, not being so focused on the present that you lose sight of what you're trying to do. And then it's kind of a double-edged sword, not being so future-facing that you forget to live in the moment.
Yeah.
And it's a balance that
right.
I don't think anyone has fully figured out, but that's part of our journey. That's part of our life, is trying to figure out what that looks like and building that balance that we see, right? Because it's different for everyone, but of what that makes sense to have.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, Father Figure came out, and that was great for me. It's also challenging because it's a hard thing for me to share.
Yeah.
You know? Like there's songs on there that like I totally can, and I'm like, yep, you'll get it, whatever. And like I sent the last track on the album, I might have sent it to you. I don't know if I did.
I think you might have.
But I sent it to my dad. It's called My Boy, and it's just this insanely vulnerable like position of like John's deepest fears in being a father, but also like as a human, but showing weakness to his son, and like all of like wild song. And like I shared that with my dad, and like that was powerful for me and my dad. And like the song Why with Luke Combs, like I can share that with most people, and because 99% of people are gonna get it. It's like being afraid to love something so much because of the hurt or losing it or whatever, you know? And it's, if the higher I fly, then the further I fall, sort of a thing. You know what I mean? Like, I can share those concepts with people, but it's like the deeper and like the things that are gonna go over everybody's head when they listen to it. But like I have a hard time sharing this album with people. Even like my roommate and best friend Dave, like I want to share.
Shout out Steph for joining the podcast.
Hi.
She's that way.
She joined. Bev, put that on your bingo card. Bingo. But
to your point of it being personal, very, very deep and rooted to you as a person.
Yeah.
It makes sense that's hard to share though. And what I mean by that is like you've had personal experiences that I haven't had.
Yeah.
I've had personal experiences that you haven't had. I can't share that per se with you. I can talk about it, but those feelings, those emotions that I have are very specific to me, just as what you've gone through.
Yeah.
You know, in the Bible, there's the 10 virgins. And I like to think that, and you know, just from different talks we've heard and things, like, it's not that the 5 virgins didn't want to give their oil to the 5 that didn't have any, right? The 5 wise. It's not that they were being selfish. It's that they couldn't share that oil. And I like to think of it as their experience, their studies, their spiritual journey, their conversion, if you will. That's very specific to them.
Yeah.
No.
You know, and so that oil, so to speak, isn't so much once again, it's a parable, right? So the theoretical oil is more our life experiences create who we are.
Mm-hmm.
They create who I am, they create who you are. I think that's the coolest thing about life on earth is that we all are different.
Yeah.
And we all have those personal experiences. So it's like a song won't hit as hard for some people because they haven't gone through what you've gone through.
Yeah. Which makes sense, right? And but it's challenging when you want to share that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I want somebody to hold on to this.
Well, because you want other people to be along for the ride with you, right? And that's possible to a certain extent, but not always.
Yeah. But yeah, I went to New York. My brother-in-law and I. So John released this album. He's got 3 boys, three kiddos, and he's like not gonna tour or like do things like that because he doesn't want to. He wants
to be with his family. Props to him.
Yeah, and so he wants to be doing that, but he also wants to still do something for the fans, right? And so his whole thing is one big show. That was going to be his thing of like, okay, at the end of the year, we're going to do one big show come one, come all. Don't know where it's gonna be. We're gonna do one big show. But then I'm on what's called the forum, which is like the inner circle, I guess.
Yeah.
And then also in like his email chain, and so he like sends us the songs 24 hours or 48 hours before, and we get the video on a WeTransfer link for free. Just like we get to watch his music videos first. We get to listen to whatever first because he wants to give it to us first. And like the album we got to listen to like an hour before or whatever. But anyways, minor details. But on that he was like, hey, like check your email at this time on this day, like whatever. And so I me and Chance went on, and Chance is my brother-in-law, and Chance got it like went up and was gone like that. It was insane. He decided to do a pop-up show in New York at the first place that he ever performed. It's called SOB's on Long Island, and it's like a 300 capacity room. It's tiny.
Whoa.
And it sold out in 18 seconds, and Chance and I got tickets.
Heck
Insane.
yeah.
Shout out Chance, because Chance was the one that got him, because by the time I put my card info in, it was gone, right? And so shout out my brother-in-law for getting 2 for us. And so yeah, we went to New York for the show. Part of it, and I'm so glad that Chance was able to do this, because he just had a newborn, and the one big show is going to be in August, and so he's not going to be able to make that.
Right.
And so it was just like, this is when I can do it. And so we went, and insane to be in a room of 300 people, because the one big show, he decided the venue is going to be Forest Hill Stadium or on Long Island, and it's 13,000 capacity.
Right.
And it sold out in like 45 minutes. It sold out before it even went to pre-sale. Like, it went to the forum and the email first. We had 4 hours to buy tickets before it went to pre-sale, which was everybody else in the world. And it sold out in 45 minutes.
Dude, that's nuts.
Insane. And it was selling so fast that he was like, okay, we'll do 2 nights. Night 1, night 2, one big show. But I'm not doing 3. I'm not doing a tour. I'm not whatever. Like, that's all we're doing. So it's like Friday, Saturday. Anyways, I got tickets, like I'm going to that as well, of course, because who I am. But anyway, so we went to New York, went to this pop-up show. Dude, like we got there at like 6 a.m. Our flight got in. We got 2 SOBs at like 8 a.m. roughly, and we waited in line all day. We waited in line. The doors opened at 7. Like we were in line for like 11 hours. Is that 11? Yeah, that's 11 hours. And then like he went on right at 8. He's really cool the way he's doing this, because he's not partnered with Live Nation. He's not, and so he's self-funding everything. Like it's all him, and so he can do whatever he wants. And it's like the ticket fee. There was no fee on the ticket. It was like, this is the flat rate for the ticket.
That's cool.
Great feeling when it's like you go to buy and there's not a $30 fee on top of your ticket.
Sure.
Like, oh, sweet. Like, this is the price. And then he like. Doors opened at 7. There was no opener. He went on right at 8. He got off at like 9:12 or something, and there was no like encore. It was just like, thank you. And then he went and put his kids in his car and drove them home, and like he knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he did it. And he played the album. It was just like, we're gonna give you a show of Father Figure, and that's what we're doing. This is what this pop-up show is for. And it was a wild experience. And no backing tracks. It was all of my favorite musicians in the world. Like Clyde Lawrence is up there, and 2 of the horn players from Lawrence, and like Lampley, who's insane, and just like, and Ten Rock.
So all live music.
Yeah, all 100% live. There was one musician on stage who was playing the bass, which I'm pretty sure, actually, I don't remember his name now, which of course I wouldn't, but he like produces for, I'm pretty sure, Sabrina Carpenter, and like other big names.
Sure.
And he was like ridiculous on the bass. But I knew everybody else on stage by name, and they're like, I follow all of them. And so like to just see them all on stage supporting John, I was like, this is a wild. I would go and see all of them individually if they were doing a show. So like to be in a room where I'm not only getting to watch my favorite artist perform, I'm watching all of them perform at the same time.
Yeah.
And they're creating masterful pieces of these versions of these songs that I've already grown to love in a week. I mean, it was 5 days. The show was 5 days after the album dropped.
Wow.
And like, a wild room to be in. Because you're also with 300 people that also are the diehards that know every word to the album already. And we're all sitting there saying every word, and he's freaking out, and we're freaking out, and we're just having a good time. And like this human connection experience, it was amazing. Something I definitely want to talk to you about, because I'm still freaking out about in some ways. While we're waiting in line for hours and hours and hours, Clyde Lawrence, who's a ridiculous talent, and was it Jordan? I think it was Jordan, who's their saxophone player. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. He's either their sax player or I'm like pretty sure.
Quote him on that.
Quote me on it. But yeah, Clyde comes through the line and he's just like checking tickets and like whatever. And there was a couple other people that were like doing the ticket thing, but Clyde was like counting numbers and like walking past, and I'm like, hey, what's up? Gave me a fist bump. I'm like, this is so cool.
No way.
Right? Lewis is John's manager, and I know who Lewis is because I'm a big fan.
Sure.
Of both of them, all of them. Lewis started as the assistant to Dexter. Dexter was John's camera guy back in the day, like filmed the making of Guillotine and like that sort of.
Cool.
I mean, all of them old making ofs, but like that's like the one people have seen and stuff. But Lewis was Dexter's assistant. He was the assistant to the cameraman, and now he's John's manager, and he runs Beautiful Mind, the label. Like with John. John funds it and like all the stuff, but like Lewis is the guy running it with I'm pretty sure Matt actually is part of the reason why John is even remotely relevant in music, period. Like wild thing. But anyways, Lewis just comes and I'm like, I know his name. This guy's got like, I don't know, like 1,200 followers on Instagram. It's not like he's like, you know, some insane famous person that everyone knows. A lot of people in the line knew his name because we know, but like it's not like we're talking to royalty in some celebrity status thing, but I'm talking to a guy that I really respect. And I'm like, hey Lewis, and I call him over because I sent like his Beautiful Minds email with my Kevin Works album. I was like, hey, if there's ever a world where I can be anything as far as like signing to Beautiful Mind or as far as, dude, I'm an audio engineer. I'll do anything. I'll come be the assistant to the whatever. Like, can I come, whatever. I sent an email a while ago. And I just wanted to make sure I got his email right. So I like pull him over. Well, I was like, Chance, should I like talk to Lewis? I'm like freaking out. Chance is like, yeah, you should. Absolutely. You should be like, hey Lewis, did I get your email right? And then like show him. And so I do. I'm like, hey Lewis, real quick. Like, did I get your email right? And I say that, and he's like, yeah. It's like, dude, with this show and with the Ox show that we did and like all this stuff, he's like, I've just been slammed. We ended up talking for like 15 minutes.
No way.
Wild conversation. And it was like, he was like, look, every Monday we sit down and we listen to demos that people send us. We listen to X, Y, and Z. We're looking for talent, obviously. He's like, I'll listen. He's like, you sent me the email, I'll listen, and like, I'll let you know. And he's like, I'm supposed to be signing an artist to Beautiful Mind in the next few months, and so like, I'll listen and I'll let you know. And he was like, what's your name? He's Brandon Bartholomew. He's like, yeah, I'll go and I'll listen and I'll like keep it posted.
Dang.
Dude, and I'm not like trying to like put my expectations at like 100.
Well, no, but
because then I'll be disappointed if it doesn't happen. But I'm like, still the fact that I was able to have that conversation was huge for me.
Yeah. Huge.
Crazy feeling. And like, could you imagine? I get an email tomorrow. He's like, hey, we wanna sign you and Colby to Beautiful Mind.
Let's get him on the podcast.
Lewis.
No.
Lewis, come on the podcast.
Can you imagine if we were able to get like, and this is just like dream building.
Yeah.
Imagine if we got him or like John Billing on the podcast.
Dude.
How sick that would be.
Yeah.
Not because they're these big name people, right? Like similar to what you're saying. It's like I don't care how many followers they have. They're still human beings, but like the life experiences they've had.
Yeah.
And how they've tried to approach things, which is different than, dare I say, how most people approach things in the music industry.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're doing it how they want to versus how
they want to, and how they see it to be right.
Yeah.
And morally, me looking from an outsider's perspective, and especially as somebody that's making music, where I'm sitting here and I'm looking at all of these labels and like whatever, and I'm like, if any major label reached out, it'd be hard for me not to say yes, but I don't want to. And I would really be looking at all of that contract, like everything, before I remotely sign anything.
I'll look at it for you.
Perfect.
That's my background,
Perfect.
kind of, so I got you covered. I'll be your agent.
Absolutely. But no, like, after everything that I've learned, especially watching John go through his label and all of this stuff, I'm like, I don't want to sign with anybody unless it's Beautiful Mind. Because they're doing it right, and they're doing it morally right, and like in a way that's actually supporting and changing and adapting. Because most labels aren't adapting to what music is now and what music should be, in my opinion. Because like often these labels are just telling these kids to go TikTok more. And I'm like, okay, I could have told you that, so why are you signed to a label and having them tell you? And then they're getting X amount of money from your like forget it, you know? Like I'll do it on my own.
And taking 2/3 of their money with it.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't know, Beautiful Mind's doing it right by these people and by the writers and by the producers, and so I'm just in a way I'm sitting there like, I really hope Lewis sends me an email. Even if it's just to, I'll go be an audio engineer. I'll go set up your one big show, bro. I audio engineer for 2 acapella groups right now. Like I was looking at all their equipment at SOBs, and I like went and checked all of their stuff for their in-ears and their all of the stuff. And I was looking at their big rack, and I was like, we use all of this for what I do as an audio engineer. I know how all of this works. Like, dude, I'll be the assistant to the assistant to the. I'll go buy everybody coffee.
If you want coffee, that's what I was gonna say.
Dude, I will. Like, and I'm in a cool place, and we were talking about this a little bit earlier. I'm in a cool place in my life where I'm like, a cool place, but also like a terrifying place. I don't know, whatever. I'm 22. My parents are moving to Chile on Saturday, and like I'm sitting here, like I don't have a whole lot tethering me to reality. I didn't make it in music school. I've got this podcast, absolutely. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, if I got an email tomorrow, I could move to New York in the next couple months, and I would.
Yeah.
And nothing would stop me. Like I'm in a position that I could do that. I could pull that off. So I'm like, maybe that's where the cards fall, and maybe they're not. And I'm not like saying that that is how it would be, but it is a cool position to be in where I'm like, at least at the very least, maybe Lewis listened to the album, and hopefully he'll either shoot me an email and he's like, I liked this, or I liked this and I didn't like this, or like whatever. Good luck. You know, like that would be cool.
Yeah.
You know. Anyways, so that was a crazy conversation. So surreal.
That's sick.
Where I'm sitting there 15 minutes and I'm just like losing my mind, and then I like afterwards, Chance and I are sitting there talking. Like, what just happened? Like I just got to talk to Lewis for how long? And he was just like hanging out, like looking at the line, like make sure everybody was taken care of. It was really cool because afterwards, right? Like we're all sitting there. John goes off, and everyone's chanting for one more song and an encore and whatever. And I see Lewis in the back, and he's like saying what's good to somebody. So Chance and I go up, and I'm like, "Hey, Lewis, is he done?" Like just checking like that we're not gonna miss anything if we like start heading out. Like we got to drive to. We had a whole night ahead of us because we had to get back by the next morning and all the things. But I was like, "Do you, is he done?" He was like, "Yep, he's done." Gave us like a bro hug. I was like, "Hey, listen to my thing." He's like, "I will." It's like, travel safe back to Utah. I was like, what a good guy to just be like so cool to talk to just 2 fans, you know what I mean? But 2 to like sit there and be like, dude, this is what we do on Mondays. Like we sit down, we listen. I got your email. I'll listen. Like that. It made me feel heard at the very least.
Yeah.
Cool feeling. And I was also, in some ways, I'm like, dude, we have nothing. Like we don't have, other than like our friends and family, like we don't have a following. Kevin Works is like a very, you'd be taking somebody from nothing to something. And I said that, and Lewis, this was in our 15-minute conversation. He was like, that's what Beautiful Mind is meant to do. It's like, it's meant, that's what it's built for, is to take somebody from nothing to something. And whatever that looks like, because for Lawrence and Tori Kelly and John, it looks dramatically different for all 3 of them, but also all 3 of them are going places and wherever those places may be, and willing to die on some hills and not on others. And I don't know, it's just like a cool thought in my brain where I'm like, yo, Kevin's quite the artist that you'd be able to sign because he doesn't exist. Like he does, but he doesn't, and we've talked about it.
Yeah,
just dove into it with Colby, but like, dude, you want an artist signed to you that like can say and do anything, and you can really tell a story to impact people and impact the way that we're thinking about identity, and the way that we're thinking about like our deepest, darkest, whatever. I got the artist for you. His name's Kevin Works, and like he doesn't exist, but he does, and help us tell a story. Like that would be insane. So I don't know. I'm just like in this. I think about that conversation all the time now.
Oh, for good reason. I think what's the most profound about that and what hits me is that take someone from nothing to something.
Yeah.
And whether it's music, career, family life, whatever that looks like, our lives start out as a baby.
Yeah.
Literally went through this 3 weeks ago. It's a very profound moment, spiritual, sacred moment. When, speaking from experience with holding all 5 of my children, you're holding something that is so close to heaven that you are now in charge of.
Yeah.
Both amazing and very stressful all at the same time. They are something. I don't want to say they're nothing. But they start out not knowing how to walk, talk,
Hold their head up.
They're learning the most basic things in life to become something greater. Yes, hopefully most of us know how to walk by now. It depends on the day for me, but
so real. That's so real.
But our life is about becoming. Our life is about becoming more than what we started as. Yet we go back, so to speak, to the same theoretical ending as the beginning, if you want to call it that, right?
Yeah.
We live on this life, we die, we're, whatever your beliefs are after that, but this life is exactly that. It's taking, I don't want to call it nothing, something to becoming something greater.
Yeah.
And whether it's Beautiful Minds and what they do, or whether it's just life in general. And honestly, like our podcast, I hope people listen, and I want this to become something more, not because of the money. This, believe it or not, has nothing to do with money.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't complain, but it has everything to do with, I think, what you and I believe and how we want to help other people.
Yeah.
And if we helped one more person, just to feel that sense of, I can become that greater thing, whatever that is, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, and even my day to day, like I wrote music all day with a gal that I met recently, and she's trying to make music, and like I just sat down with her. She's never like recorded, and I sat down with her and we
took a song that had nothing and made an entire piece out of it, and it was, I'm sitting down and I'm like, how can I serve you?
Yep.
And because you aren't in a position to make this, so like let's make this, and not even just like recording whatever, like anyone can really record a song, but like how can we make this song what you hear? And it's to help, to serve, and if one person listens to this and they're affected in a way that they're like, I can get up tomorrow, and it's worth it. I mean, that's why I make music in general, and that's why I do all of the things that I do. It's like, okay, can I make an experience? Can I make X, Y, and Z happen so that somebody is infected in a positive way, and that they feel a little bit less bad about themselves? Because everything in the world is making people feel like garbage. And
everyone wants to be seen.
Yeah.
What Lewis did for you.
Dude. Like, even if that is the only thing that ever comes of it, that I had one conversation with Lewis, I felt seen and heard.
What I guarantee for him, it wasn't that big of a deal either, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was just like...
Well, and that's what I got, is like, this is just a human. Like, you know what I mean? And even like watching John, like, this is my hero. This is the guy that like made me start making music. What If I Hope to Be Is Always Me? That changed the way that I see life. And I'm sitting there looking at this guy and I'm like, what a good guy. And his son came up on stage with him and like sang a little part of Oblivious, and like just was like up there with him, sitting in his lap for the last 2 songs. And his wife's there, and he went and put his kids in their car seats and he drove them home right after. And like what a guy. I got to see his true colors, and it was what I thought it was gonna be, and that was refreshing. And he's also very human in a good way.
Yeah.
Like we all are.
As we all are.
Yeah.
But I think that gets inflated.
Yeah.
Right? I think most of us at our true selves want to do more, want to serve other people, but like that's us at our core. But there's so much that goes on around that distracts from the better parts of who we are.
Yeah.
And so coming back to it all, I think that's it. It's like this life is about becoming who we're meant to be, because we are something great. We just can be greater.